I'm Mino Giunta. I work here at the Elisabet Ney Museum. We're part of the Parks and Recreation Department of the City of Boston. And the museum's closed right now, but the grounds are open, and I want to give you all a little tour. So the last time we did a landscape tour was in May, and we focused a lot on flowers. Now it's November, and I'm going to focus a lot on grasses, and I think you'll see why. Over the course of the summer and fall, they've been sending up their seed heads. And so we're going to go through several different plants. A lot of them are going to be grasses, and I hope that you'll see why they're such an interesting part of the Ney landscape in the fall. So I should say I'm just going to use the common names here, mainly so that I don't butcher the Latin names, but I will include the Latin names, or at least in the credits. The Latin names and taxonomy is really useful for knowing exactly what you're talking about. You'll notice that there are many grasses called bluestem. There's grasses that use the word grama, and there's grasses that use the word gamma, and those things don't really even mean that something's related to one another. So the Latin's important, but I'm going to keep it simple and use the common names. This is little bluestem. You see those nice red seed heads and airy, kind of almost silver open seeds that fly away on the wind. These tall golden spikes are Indian grass, which can grow either as a clump or see it a little more dispersed in just single spikes. Pretty striking, and one of the tallest grasses we have here. This is a native grass that is pretty common to see around. This is silver bluestem, and or silver graybeard, and it's what I think of as an early successional grass. You see it even in sort of neglected corners of lawns or rental properties, areas of sidewalk or curb that have not been mowed in a long time. It's one of the native grasses to find its way back into those spots. Here is yet another bluestem, also unrelated to the two others that we've talked about. This is big bluestem, and it's another one of the big four, which are four important grasses of the tall grass prairie. And it's also called turkeyfoot. You can see this seed head here, these three sort of splayed spikelets that look kind of like a bird's foot. A lot of these bluestems also, even though they're not related to each other, are probably called bluestem because of the color of their leaves, which is sort of blue-green often, and a lot of them seem to turn red in the fall. In the fall landscape, you've also got these sort of beautiful skeletons of plants that have already gone to seed. Here's annual sunflower, which was blooming all summer, and has left these seeds, which I'm sure the birds are still enjoying, and there's sort of an interesting sculptural element here in the meadow. Here's another interesting bunch grass here at the Ney. This is cupgrass, which isn't something I see around quite so much. It's called cupgrass because of the little space that the seeds fall out of on each spikelet. It makes a little cup. It can be hard to see on the camera. But I just think that they make this beautiful shape as they zigzag back and forth, the spikelets coming off each stem. Here's another spot where you can really see how beautiful the array of grasses are in the fall. There's several different grasses here, some of which we've talked about, some of which we haven't. You can see Indian grass in the background along with little bluestem. Here in the middle is silver bluestem, and up front is a grass that we haven't talked about yet, which is Sideoats Grama. Sideoats Grama is a pretty common grass to see around. You see it even on roadsides and disturbed areas. And you can see why it's called Sideoats Grama because of these sort of oat-like clusters of seeds that hang down off of one side of the stem. So once you come to recognize that, you can see it pretty easily. Here in the shade under this live oak tree and these ancient post oaks, there's a whole different set of plants. And some of the ones we see here are inland sea oats here and frostweed, both of which have already gone to seed, but they're persisting here in the landscape. I often meet people out here at the Ney who ask me, what are those funny little tomatoes growing alongside the path? Well, they're right to think that they look like tomatoes. This is Silverleaf Nightshade, and it's in the same family as tomatoes, Solanaceae, the nightshade family. They come from beautiful purple flowers in the summertime, but unlike tomatoes, they are poisonous, as are a lot of members of the nightshade family. So appreciate their cute little tomato shape, but don't let your children eat them. Here's one more sunflower to show off, but it's a different one. This is Maximilian Sunflower, which blooms along the stalk like this. And another way in which it's different than the annual sunflower we looked at earlier is that it's perennial. So this will come back next year, again in the same spot from the roots. Thanks for joining me for another landscape tour. I hope you enjoyed it. I think there's a feeling perhaps that fall is a drab time in Texas landscapes, native landscapes, and I hope this video proves that otherwise. There's so many amazing plants and textures and colors to come see. In the end, I really hope you come and see it yourself. It's always changing, those beautiful low winter light. There's a million little microcosms here, even at the Ney, in this urban space. So it really is worth exploring. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.